Welcome everyone, Zoltan here, and this is Retro PC. So here you can see my Pentium 4 machine with the Abit IC7 motherboard, which is a really good one for EGP, and we have a Prescott Pentium 4 here running at 3.0 default clock speeds. It can run up to 3.6 or 3.7 with the same cooler, with this cooler. It's great, but 3.0 is enough for this project. We have an OM power supply, but with a very good actual details here, so this is good for this machine. Absolutely 300 watts, but really high amperage. Yeah, good one. And I have only half gig of memory, so 512 megabytes of memory. This is because I will use Windows Millennium, so Windows 9X, and yeah, it's the optimal for it. Maybe I will try 1 gig, but that's fine for now. And I have a 120 gigabyte hard drive here. It's a 2.5 inch version, 5400 RPM, but it's really silent and nice. So IDA DVD drive, it's a simple LG DVD reader, and I have a Sunbuster Live here, which is real great. Maybe I will upgrade it later to the ODG2ZS as soon as I upgrade the Core to Quad PC to an XFI or something. So yeah, basically that's the PC, and the first thing we will test out is this graphics card. So maybe the first one actually running great on this kind of machine, AGP4X, NVIDIA GeForce TNT2. So this is the Asus version. It has some nice numbering somewhere. I might not able to tell you, but 37,000 or something like this. Yeah, it's the V38000 32 megabytes AGB card from Asus, but it's a Riva TNT2 basically, so no hardware TNL or any fancy thing, but a nice GPU, nice clock rate. 32 megabytes is good, and yeah, I think we'll be able to run almost every game we can throw at it. Maybe use some software renders, but yeah, it's maybe just DirectX 6, I guess. The GeForce was DirectX 7, but it will be run on DirectX 9 finally. Just yeah, without those nice features. No cube map support, no texture compression. I guess the texture compression is the worst thing, because 32 megabyte with compression would be more than enough for the old games, but yeah, it's a good card. We run Unreal from 99, Unreal Tournament, maybe Unreal Tournament 2004 as well, Quake III Arena, some GTA Vice City, other games as well. My favorites like Drakan or Carmageddon, TDR 2000, and those games. So this is the nice graphics card. We have a VG here, and we also have a TV out and an S-video in, S-video out here, and then a composite jack here. So yeah, old card, but definitely beautiful. Many memory chips, and the whole PCB is just awesome looking. So I will add this card to the PC, and we'll go to just a general Windows Millennium look, how this operation system feels, how many issues I will have with drivers and so on. Just a little look, and then we will see games, actual gameplay, just 1 minute or so each game. Not to make this a really long video, and we will have some 3D Mark scores as well in the end. So that's it, and please enjoy the video. and this is Windows Millennium Edition. Let me start here showing you the screen resolution. So 32-bit colors, 1280 by 1024, and I'm using 60 Hz because 75 Hz with the TNT2 is just looking wavy, if I can say that. So it's not really good, I guess. Yeah, I'm installing some games from an USB drive. Let me show you. Here we have my computer. I just want to give you a general look of this OS. Maybe you don't know it, or maybe it could be nostalgic. So it's a Prescott 3.0 GHz Pentium 4, but Windows Millennium only showing it's a Pentium 4, and I'm using 12 megabytes of RAM because this is ideal for Windows 9X. So maybe I will try 1 GB later, but this is just fine. I'm using a Spacemonger software, which is really good, showing you which files taking up how much space and so on. Documents, trash bin, and yeah, I've installed some games and I will show you those later. I have an old Demon Tools, old version of Fraps, Windows Media Player. Maybe I will open it. So this is this classic looking, yeah, damn nostalgic. Okay, enough of this. So it's the Windows Media Player 7, and we have the general. Sorry about the blurriness, it's just a phone. And yeah, calculator here. As usual, I have a notepad. Yeah, simple, large, whatever. And we have the classic paint here as well. Really good. I don't know, I like this Windows, but how could I show you? I want to show you the taskbar. Sorry, I don't want to do video editing right now, and I do this really ugly movement here. Okay, so if you press Ctrl Alt Delete, you only see this closer software. Yeah, and you can see just those applications. You can close it, shut down or reboot, and that's it. You don't have this task manager. So yeah, it's bad. I really miss it. You can have it in Windows 2000. So Windows NT is supporting it, and also I'm just looking for yeah, you have this system monitor here. You can see the CPU usage in general, I guess. Yeah, CPU usage, and here we see that. Well, looks like it's using the CPU so much for copying some files, 100%. But you can add some other graphs maybe to see the memory usage as well, and I used it in Windows 98 with the Pentium 2, but it's just not needed. It's copying files for eternity. ESO files are so large. It's the GOG edition of Morrowind. I'm hoping it will work on 9X operation system, whatever. Okay. So I have Serious Sam, I will make a little video about it, and Revolt, 3D Mark 2099, also 7-zip, it's a good application, and I have Army Man, it's not running. I'll give you a summary of this. Drakan, RL Tournament, Lego Racers, really good one. Yeah. Basically, I'm using the MGI software. It's really old, and ECDC to see the stuff, you know, or free versions, or I have the registration for them and so on. And yeah, I have UT 2004. I believe it will run with software. Serious Sound, first encounter. I have the second encounter as well, but yeah, first will be just enough for this machine right now. Okay, also I want to show you some scores. So right now this test is with the TNT2. Okay, so yeah, this is the color settings, and in this control panel you can see this is 30 GHz and DirectX 7. Right now I have DirectX 8 installed because I needed it for some games. 32 megabytes, and it's saying it's PCI, but actually it's the AGP version of the TNT2 from Asus. 32 megabytes, yeah. So this is the card. I can't use GPU-Z on it or CPU-Z either, cause it's not really working on Win 9X. So you need an NT of it. Also, I have 3D Mark 99 score here, like 5,400 3D marks and 31,604 for the CPU. So that's a bit the difference. And I'm using the Pentium 3 optimizations here, and I should have, sorry, 3D Mark 2000. I had issues actually running it at first, but now I'm using the default configuration, only using the software TNL optimizations, because the TNT2 doesn't have transform and lighting. It will be introduced in the GeForce. Oh yeah, just a general. It's good to install applications on Windows ME. It's pretty fast with this system, more or less stable if you're just using it and copying files and stuff. Using the default applications software is just fine. Yeah, and the general look is good. Issues with DirectX with the default 7.1. I have many problems, like the XDAG wasn't working, but with DirectX 8.0 it's working greatly. And also, if some games just decide to crash, or 3D Mark 2000 used to crash a bit, Series Sam as well, freeze, then you have to reset the computer. I mean, just press the reset button. And the issue is with that, it will always set back your desktop resolution to 16-bit colors and the basic 640 by 480 resolution. Sorry, I'm just showing you blank screen. I don't know what to show exactly. So yeah, that's the case with it. And also the active desktop is just dying, and you have to restore active desktop. But yeah, it's because the TNT2 drivers is just not really good in trying to use just newer games and so on. So yeah, in the third part I will show some gameplay, or that's the plan at least. Okay, so Windows Millennium in general. Yeah, so if you have any questions, want to see other stuff, I will make new videos and show you things. I can say it's much better for me than Windows 98, because DirectX and OpenGL is there, and it's okay. And also mass storage drive, I can use my pen drive instantly on this computer. So in Windows 98 you somehow have to install the USB drivers, and yeah, it wasn't easy for me because I haven't got it on CD, or yeah, I had to put it into the hard drive in another computer and so on. So basically Windows ME is 98, but a little bit better. I disabled system restore, and so, but yeah, it's great. So this is looking nice, yeah. Okay, so games in the third part. Okay guys, so TNT2 machine, Pentium 4, half gig of RAM, and we are playing Mario, which is a good thing because on a 64-bit OS you're just unable to run this game. It's a 16-bit DOS game, so Windows 9X, Windows Millennium is just great for playing such old games, and this is one of my favorites. So yeah, it's smooth, all the colors, resolution, everything. Yeah, Super Mario runs superb here. Okay, and this one is a Serious Sam, the first encounter, which you can see here in the CD. and we are running at 640 by 480. Every game at 32-bit colors, because 16-bit colors are just wrong with this card. It's colors everywhere, flickering and so on, so it's unplayable in 16-bit. So 32-bit is slower, but and yeah, with Serious Sam and the TNT2, I always experience the same thing. It's freezing. If you wait a little, it starts again, or not, you have to reboot the PC and so on. The FPS is okay, but generally it's fluctuating between 20 or 60, and I guess Serious Sam is actually unplayable. The frame rates are great, but somehow this game is just doing this, and you can't do anything actually. Sometimes it's come back, sometimes it's not, but yeah. So consider Serious Sam is unplayable with the TNT2 and the Pentium 4. Okay guys, and this is after the reboot Serious Sam, and this is the general experience. Active desktop restoration, and then I have to go to the properties, settings. The color is okay, but the resolution is just set back. So Riva TNT2. Yeah, it's a annoying thing if it does it sometimes. It 3D Mark 2000 as well, but yeah, it's fine. Other games are cool. Yeah, Windows ME. I'm not sure it's the same with Windows 98, but that's just funny. And this is just a quick look at RollerCoaster Tycoon, the first game. I really love it, and generally those old 2D games like StarCraft, Age of Empires 2, all of these games are running just nice. So 3D graphics is good. You can set any resolution. Yeah, it's smooth, it's great, and no instability issues. So you can play hours and hours, and this TNT card and Windows ME is good. This is actually an old DOS game, but Windows versions of 2D games are fine as well. And I wanted to try Man RTS, which is a favorite, but I think it needs hardware TNL, so it will give you an error. Actually, having a DirectX 9.c, because this is required for 3D marks. I will talk about them later, so it just does this. But yeah. And also I have Animaniacs. Those games not that interesting. If you are interested, tell me and I show you a little gameplay. Okay, and this is Quake III Arena, and the resolution is 640 by 480. It will be the same for all the games from now on, because 800 by 600 is just too much for the TNT2, I guess. And everything is set to the highest 32-bit colors, and it runs smooth. Quake 3 is great on the TNT2 in this resolution. Yeah, high resolutions are not that great. As you can see, the frames per second are fluctuating a little. But yeah, it looks great, feels smooth. Yeah, 91 is the maximum frame rate here, so probably 800 by 600 would be possible. But yeah, I like the high frame rates with this kind of game. So let's consider 640 by 480 the max for Quake 3, and it's a pass, definitely. Okay, and this is Unreal Tournament, the 99 version, 640 by 480, everything at maximum, and I'm actually running fraps, but in this game it's just not displaying with the TNT2, but it runs great, it runs smooth. I love it. Yeah, actually this is a pass. Runs great. Yeah, the beefy CPU of course is helping a lot. It's not so GPU intensive, but yeah, I guess it's around 60 most of the time. So yeah, this game is good, and as you can see, you can feel the camera. My phone is not capturing enough for this smooth game. You see some kind of motion blur or something. But yeah, Unreal is running great, looking nice, and I just love this game. Okay, and I think this is the most recent game we're testing on this TNT2, and it's amazing. It's running on the D3D render, so it's not software, and you see like 28, 30, 40 frames per second. Everything is set to the absolute minimum, 640 by 480, 32-bit colors, and yeah, the FPS is fluctuating, but it's smooth and playable on this resolution, and no big issues. Actually, it's not supporting cube maps, so some reflections are strange, let's say that, but actually it's good. It's running smooth, it's looking fine. Yeah, textures are blurry, but still it's playable, and it's a surprise for me for a 99 card TNT2 and running a game from 2004, 2003 actually. Pretty smooth. It's decent. I remember playing with this with the GeForce 2 MX, and it was horrible. Maybe I wasn't aware if I set the resolution lower it will run smooth, but yeah, it's running smooth. And this is a very taxing map, Inferno here. Did match with bots, and yeah, it's good. Actually, pretty good. And the next game is Drakan, one of my favorites as well, from Psygnosis. And here is a nice CD of it. I have received it for my first GeForce 256 around 2000. And yeah, it was a great game with that card. But now we are running with the TNT2, and the frames per second are great for some reason with this higher DirectX version. I'm actually happy about this because it was way worse with the older DirectX 7 and DirectX 8 versions. Yeah, 640 by 480 as well, 32-bit colors, everything at the lowest. Also the draw distance is set to the lowest, and yeah, it's running nice, but as you can see the frames per second are dropping for around 40 or 30 sometimes. A bit choppy, but with this resolution settings it's playable. If you set it higher, it's definitely dropping down. Let me show you something for a moment, if I can. Sorry about doing this. Wait, I just want to set some draw distance to show you how it works. This UI is actually beautiful. I really love it. Yeah, so now we set some extra draw distance here, and yeah, it's not bad, but as you can see there are some pop-in textures and so, but yeah, it's running and it's looking good. In the mountains, the pop-in textures. Wow, yeah. So you should set the draw distance lower. TNT2, it's playable. Not perfect, but yeah, it's fine. So it's a pass. So, other favorite, of course, Lego Racers. And everything is at maximum. You cannot set the resolution, so it's 640 by 480 and 60 FPS. Stable, it's smooth and awesome. You can build your Lego car and race into some amazing levels. Definitely recommend this game from everyone who's like racing, and if you can plug a joystick somehow, you can play with your friend and split screen mode. So yeah, it's really good. It's cool. Yeah. Okay, so this is a classic game, Revolt. An old version. You can play the newest release on Windows 10 as well. So yeah, it's a great game. 640 by 480, 24-bit colors or textures, and it's running great at this resolution. Everything at lowest. The draw distance isn't medium because lowers are just horrible. You can see the sky everywhere, so it's not good. The frame rate is high, sometimes really high, like 120, but it drops frequently and really down like 20, so it's a bad thing. But yeah, you can play this game with these settings and it's cool, it's amazing, I love it. So this is Carmageddon TDR 2000. I know no one likes this game because this is the worst Carmageddon so far, but I just love it. I was a kid and this was my first and last Carmageddon game, and I really enjoyed it and I still do. So this is Carmageddon. And also, first I was able to run this only in software mode, but after installing later DirectX version like 8 and 9, and yeah, it just became playable with the direct 3D render, and now everything is set to low, no shadows and stuff, but the draw distance is at maximum, and 640 by 480, of course, 32-bit colors, and basically it's between 30 and 60. I guess there is VSync enabled and I wasn't able to disable it from the game at least, so we have 30 or 60 frames per second or in between, and yeah, it's playable. Sometimes a little frame drop, but basically it's playable. Higher resolutions, no way. If you increase the details, that hurts. But yeah, this game is running nice, finally. I wasn't expecting that after the only software render mode, but now it's good. It's running and it's fun, yeah. And the last game will be GTA Vice City. So yeah, as you can see, it's the same as with Series Sam. These bottlenecks, at least it's not crashing forever, just freezing every time it loads the map. So 640 by 480, 32-bit, and there is no real setting in GTA Vice City, so the draw distance it is at a minimum, and we are getting this frame rate here. Yeah, it's not bad because when it runs well, but you see the frame drops and this little freezing. That's not good. Well, hard question. You can start this game on the TNT2, but definitely not really suggested. So yeah, that was Vice City and the TNT2 and the games. So let's see some 3D marks and then we are done. So 3D mark 99 on the TNT2, and as you can see the frame rate is just beautiful. This benchmark running nicely and we're getting some good scores. So obviously this is for the system, and also the Pentium 4 helps it a lot, so it's better smooth. Yeah, 3D Mark 99 runs great. And this is a 3D Mark 2000. Now I'm having instant crashes if I run the default benchmark, but if I set everything to the lowest manually, then run it, and then set it to default and set it to software T and L, it runs fine. But if I start with setting it to software and try to run it, it will crash, you have to restart. So yeah, but now it's running. The frame rate is between 60 or 30. The high detail with a lot of trees is actually worse, but 3D Mark 2000 run nice. Only a very few tests are like the bump mapping, environmental, which is not running. It even runs the 64 megabyte texturing. I think it uses some system RAM or something, because if you go to diag, it says it can use around 64 megabytes, maybe from EGP or something. But with other cards I haven't seen that. Always skip the 64 part with the GeForce 2 MX. Yeah, 3D Mark 2000 is a hard thing to run with the TNT2, but I've experienced this with Windows 98 and the Pentium 3 as well. The same situation. But yeah, now it's running and we will have some nice score around 2000 or something. And 3D Mark 2001, the default settings 1024 by 768. It's running fine, like 20 frames per second. It's almost smooth. Yeah, it's a bit too much for this card sometimes, but it's running great. Everything flawless, no issues, crashes or anything. It runs greatly. Maybe I just had to disable. No, it wasn't 3D Mark 2000. It wasn't able to run the image quality tests. But yeah, 3D Mark 2001 is great. Yeah, with the high details you can see the frame rate drops, but it runs. It's amazing. It's just the TNT2. No TNL, no pixel vertex shaders, and it's running. Only the nature test, which is impossible to run because it requires DirectX 8, I guess, and some pixel shader capability at least. So yeah, it's running 3D Mark 2001, except a few tests. We will see the scores. Okay guys, I think this is the end for the TNT2 testing. I've just saved some images to show you quickly that when you run 3D Mark 2003, it actually starts and says it doesn't support cube textures, which is a problem in Duty 2004 with all the reflections, and also no texture compression, which is also a big problem because other 32MB cards are much better with textures than this card without the support of compression. And then it says there is no test at all that it will be able to run, and as you can see it opens up and nothing is supported, not even CPU test, no software render, anything, image quality, other feature test. There's nothing functional here, but at least you can see this is the Pentium 4 3.0 and the TNT2. So that's something which is great, and I'll want to show you some scores. So 3D Mark 2001 achieved 1806 3D marks, and we have 3D Mark 2000 always using just the software render, but everything is default, so you can see the 24 by 768 16-bit colors. We have 2017 3D marks, which is great. Yeah, this is just an image about, because I don't have CPU-Z, I have this is the general settings on my desktop, and actually this improved because with the older drivers, I missed the chipset driver, it says PCI, but in the final version it says AGP4X, so finally I just needed some chipset for the motherboard, and also now I have USB 2.0, which is great. Sorry about focusing again. With 3D Mark 99 I have 5410 as a score and 41,604 for the CPU, so that's a great thing. So closing off these images, I will use them to make graphs and stuff, checking all the cards I've seen. Phil's Computer Lab do the same thing for graphics cards, so I will do that. So as you can see, there is AGP4X and 32MB and DirectX 9.0 or better, which is actually DirectX 9.0.c. So yeah, that's it, TNT2. Yeah. So you can use the TNT2 for retro build. It's good for those games and other older games, but not for the newer ones. I think GeForce 256 or GeForce 2 will be able to run all these games and newer ones as well. So as long as you stick with the Windows 9X, yeah, you will be able to run all the newer games as well. So the TNT2 is great. It's fun to use. It's amazing that you can use without TNL many new games. That's a really cool thing. Yeah, so TNT2 was a great experience, and now I will switch to another graphics card, and you'll be able to see it in the next video, playing these games, comparing, which is fun. So guys, thank you so much for watching. It's really important for me, and please like the video, subscribe to me if you're interested in further videos, because this is a great motivation for me. So single likes, comments, subscriptions, it's a good thing, and I will make many videos because I really love doing this, but only if there are people out there who is watching and enjoying this. So thanks again. I'm Zoltan, and yeah, have a nice day, night, everything. So bye bye.